Okay, so in this screencast, I'm going to run through a batch processing workflow that will analyze specific file types, and in particular, electrodermal activity. So I'm just going to launch AcqKnowledge, going to create a new experiment, go to the workflow, and then I've got a workflow that's already created. So it's this example here, batch example. I've got a folder that contains the batch data. So this is set up so that the user is prompted. This is coming from the file menu, find graph files. The user is prompted to locate the folder that contains the files to be analyzed. The software will then open those graph files, however many there are in the folder. It will run a low-pass filter. The way I've got the file set up, EDA is channel 1. So I'm just going to run a filter over channel 1, low pass at 1 Hertz. Each of the files has digital inputs on channel 2 and channel 22. I'm going to convert those into STIM events that will then be used by the EDA event analysis. We're going to make sure that channel 1 is the active channel, select all the data in the graph, and then we get to the event-related EDA analysis, which will run the analysis over the active channel, which has been set to channel 1. We'll create a new phasic waveform. We're going to look for specific skin conductance responses within that 1 to 4 seconds after the stimuli are presented to the participant. And then I've got an epoch for the specific skin conductance response over non-specific skin conductance response analysis of 10 seconds. And this can be set to whatever time you want. I'm analyzing the entire graph, not just the focus areas. And the default here is set so the output will go to an Excel spreadsheet. At this point, we can select Run. So using the Run button from the toolbar. This is the folder that contains the files. Okay, so the software is opening up each of those files. So now it's ran the filter, it's done the conversion, it's now running the skin conductance response analysis, and it's outputting the results to the individual Excel files. Okay, so this is file number 1, file number 2, file number 3, and this is the 4th file. And if I minimize this, come back over here, we can see that we've got our events clearly marked, scored. We can see the specific events marked on the waveform. We can see the stimulus events appearing, the little yellow light bulbs above the waveform. And if I look at this channel, we should see that a low-pass filter was added today. And this is our frequency cutoff at 1 Hertz. So very easy to perform the analysis. If we come into window, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 files. 3 of them were effectively the same. I just wanted to provide an example here, but you could have as many files as you want, and it will run through that workflow, performing the tasks that you want. Anyway, it gives you a quick idea of how easy it is to set up a batch processing that can perform multiple steps. So again, in this one, we opened the graphs, we filtered, we converted our STIM events, digital triggers, into STIM events, and then we ran the EDA event analysis using these STIM events that were in the software, output everything into Excel so that we end up with a unique Excel file for each of the files that we've analyzed.